I was going to ask you about that today. So did he get a different report from the doctor or what?
He's recovered. They took an MRI. It's completely healed. He got a full clearance. He's going to play this week.
I don't know, you got God on your side.
He's finding that out. That's why he's got
Between him and what's his name, Luke Thomas.
Is French playing too?
He may be out this week, but he got good. He got good reports too. They expect him back.
Morris told me that he was going to get a second, get it looked at again.
I can't get that exercise about it. The Cowboys are not putting me in stress, stroke, heart attack zone. I'm not doing that. Jerry Jones is not doing that to me, although he'll make me a one-team fan in a minute. This keeps up, honestly.
And I think that's the right way to look at it. And we've talked about this before. I've always been a player. I've always been on the field. So the fan experience and allowing something like this to, cause me to break my flat screen TV or worse actions, it just doesn't work like that for me. I appreciate people's fandom and their fanaticism.
So do I.
It contributed to my family well-being. My numbers in my bank account, so I appreciate that. I just don't happen to roll that way.
Thank God for that. More people like Chad Brown, less people like the other people. Brooke on the social says, I hope Micah Parsons has a fantastic career. He needs a fresh start without all Jerry's nonsense and disrespect. Brooke co-signing that one. At a certain point, you can only take so much. Even if it was your dream to play for the Dallas Cowboys, when a guy like that, like Jerry Jones, thinks he has enough stones that he can talk to you or to your agent or about you in any way, maybe there is no going back. There's not enough money in the world to do something like that. Micah Parsons and his agent reached that point, and Jerry Jones had no communication with him. So they said, okay, if you're going to listen to trades, we'll sign off on that one. And Green Bay said, we'll give you 2 first rounds of Kenny Clark. Sold. The Green Bay, that's all it took? That's all we needed to do to get Micah Parsons? These are the kind of trades that can haunt an organization. They have an owner who does not care about being haunted. All he cares about is what's best for Jerry Jones and his ego. Those things are not going away anytime soon. Keep weighing in at 888-ESPN, 888-729-3776 on the massive trade involving Micah Parsons being traded from the Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers for 2 first-rounders and a player. And which trade was bigger? Luka being traded by the Mavericks or Micah being traded by the Cowboys? Our answers are next on Freddie and Harry with Chad Brown and Harry Douglas and Freddie Coleman. And this is ESPN Radio.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your fantasy draft is here. The Smack Talk is starting, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
News, Now on 102.7 The Game.
Reporting for Cromwell Media News, I'm Rob Nichols. A final execution date is being ordered for a man convicted of killing a 15-year-old in Spencer County. Roy Ward was sentenced to death in 2007 for the 2001 rape and murder of Stacey Payne. The Indiana Supreme Court has set an execution date for Ward of October 10th. This comes after Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita asked for the execution date to be set back in June. The September issue of Kentucky Living spotlights the 2025 Best in Kentucky Award winners, a highlight for readers across the state. Moonlight Barbecue Inn from Davis County secured the coveted title of Best Barbecue in Kentucky. Now at its 16th year, the awards are determined by nominations in February and voting in May on KentuckyLiving.com. Winners were celebrated during a special online awards show hosted by Heather French Henry, with awards presented at Kentucky State Fair. The annual initiative showcases the uniqueness and vibrancy that define Kentucky communities. Some Kentucky lawmakers want voting rights automatically restored for Kentuckians convicted of felonies. Senators Keturah Herron and Jimmy Higdon say they are working to draft legislation for the next legislative session. It allows residents with past felonies to regain voting rights with exceptions for certain crimes. Governor Andy Beshear made similar efforts by signing an executive order in 2019 to restore voting rights for over 140,000 Kentuckians with nonviolent felony convictions. I'm Rob Nichols.
It's the Live at 5 tailgate show this Friday from the parking lot of Rash Stadium. Friday night, 5 p.m., courtesy of Elite Auto Glass. Join Stephen A. Turner, Vic Evans, and the crew as they preview the state showdown, OHS versus Cal, and break down all the area's matchups. The guys will make predictions of all the games in the ESPN Owensboro area. It's the Live at 5 tailgate show Friday night at 5 p.m., live from Rash Stadium, courtesy of Elite Auto Glass.
Do you have what it takes to be the voice of freedom? It's the Anthem Idol Star Spangled Search, brought to you by Bass, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and German American Bank. And we're looking for singers of all ages to send us their best version of the national anthem. Go to owensbororadio.com/Anthem Idol and upload your MP3 today. The winner will be heard every morning on all stations and get a free 2-hour acoustic studio session at Gray Sky Music. Enter today. The contest runs through August.
And now, Western Kentucky weather on 102.7 The Game.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jeff Lyons with your 14 first alert forecast. For tonight and the overnight hours, clear with a low of 59. On Friday, sunny and warmer, a high of 85. Then partly cloudy Friday night with a low of 55 degrees. On Saturday, sunny with a high of 82. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jeff Lyons with your 14 first alert forecast.
From the Floor Concept Studios, ESPN Radio, all sports, all the time. Kentuckiana sports leader, 102.7 WLME, Lewisport, 102.7 The Game.
On there.
102.7.
Yeah, we're going down here today, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it's Clarence. Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to
Lion at 5.
It's Live at 5, and it's brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, FWHlegal.com. And now, your host for Live at 5, Stephen A. Turner.
What's up and welcome to Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, dedicated to you, committed to justice. That's FWHlegal.com. Stephen A. Turner here in the Floor Concept Studios, joined by Coach Vic Evans.
How you doing, man?
Man, you're somber today.
I am somber today. It's been a bad afternoon. Tough coming to the realization that we've got a football team that just wants to make money. We don't want to win games, and we're not serious. We're so unserious. I think I would take the front office of the Cincinnati Bengals over my front office.
Yeah, if you're just joining, just tuning in, maybe under a rock, Dallas Cowboys is who he's talking about. We will discuss that here in just a little bit. Be sure and download the Owensboro Radio app because we have 6 big games across the Cromwell family of stations. We have Apollo and Heritage Hills right here on 102.7 The Game, along with Christian Academy of Louisville as they travel into Rash. That'll be on VJS. Both of those games brought to you by Wright Implement. And we also have our Commonwealth Road Products Hancock County Game of the Week on BIO. The Hornets take on Breckenridge County. Big rivalry game there over at GN Excavating Stadium. ATTC Manufacturing over on CJ. Well, Southern Indiana game of the week is Tell City.
Yes, Tell City and West Washington.
I didn't even ask that. I just rolled with it because I know Aaron was, Tell City there. So we'll have that for you on CJ 105.7. On 97X, it'll be interesting to see if the Cougars of McLean County can bounce back tomorrow night as they travel down to Caverna. That's courtesy of KT Gunterman Insurance. And last but certainly not least, my game over on Owensboro Garage Doors. A game of the week for the Aces will be on K-News this week. By K-News from here on out, Aces fans, is they travel out to Reed Stadium to take on the Davis County Panthers. So a good slate of games tomorrow night. And that radio app, you can listen anywhere in the world, or owensbororadio.com as
1027thegame.com for the game of the week.
Got you covered multiple different ways. Big shout out to our live stream sponsor, Legendary Pool and Spa. Check that out on YouTube. Subscribe and like there, or on Spotify or iTunes, wherever you consume your podcast. Go ahead and text us throughout the show if you want to text it in. It's Chris wanted to let me know it's our game, not my game. Nick's going to be there too. It's going to be a whole group, the voices of the Aces. Yeah, I'm a diva, 100%, no doubt about it. But be sure and text us throughout the show, and maybe send Vic some condolences on the Green River Area Federal Credit Union text line, and Chris too, 270-903-0389.
Well, the problem I have is, if I have a second team in the NFL, it's the Browns, and so they both are terrible.
You picked poorly on that.
I did. Well, I used to love Bernie Kosar.
That's absolutely fair.
I love Bernie Kosar.
I saw a guy wearing a Bernie Kosar shirt the other day, and I had to compliment him on it. But if you take the fan part out of it, you just immediately it hits me, and I'm like, well, it could have been anybody but Green Bay or Detroit. Man.
I figured that.
Dallas trades away one of the top three, at least. He's in the conversation for the best defensive player in football, literally in his prime. 26 years old, 25?
26 years old.
26 years
Here's
old.
the thing. If you felt like you were going to make this deal, do it around draft time. You could have got like 3 or 4.
Cowboys don't make any sense.
You got a defensive tackle and 2 first-round picks that are going to be late first-round picks.
We literally had discussions here on Live at 5, about a little over a year ago, and you had Lamb, you had Dak, and you had Parsons that needed to be paid. We knew that was coming. Well, you got the priorities all screwed up.
You did. And
Parsons was the one you needed to pay first.
Yes.
I mean, now granted, a quarterback is normally where you start, then left tackle.
Well, if you're gonna
go,
you got Dak done, Parsons has to be second.
Yeah,
at the worst. But here's what I don't understand.
I don't know why you did Dak. Why?
Right.
Why did you do Dak? Take that money, give it to Parsons, and go draft a young quarterback and roll, or pick up somebody else. I mean, it's going to you could get far more bang for your buck. You take that money, dump it into Parsons. You get, even if it's, I don't know, just a journey. It could be Aaron Rodgers. I don't know who it is. But at the end of the day, none of that ever made any sense. No. And the timing of these don't make any sense.
No.
I mean, you're a week and a half before the season, and it's just a deal where the ego took over.
No, this is completely Jerry's ego. If you look at the contract that's been reported that Jerry, basically, corralled Parsons in a room because for some reason now Jerry doesn't want to deal with agents. Well, I've got news for you. 99% of those guys out there, you're going to have to go through their agent. But if you look at the deal that the agent got done with Green Bay, Dallas's was a better deal.
It was a better deal.
So what I don't understand is Jerry got ticked off because Parsons was like, hey, you're going to deal with my agent. Well, we already had a handshake agreement. You're still going to deal with my agent. And then Jerry gets mad and it becomes a pissing contest. And the problem is Jerry can't block and tackle anybody. He did that back in the 50s at Arkansas. You got to get guys to do it. And you lose out here, Jerry. You lost, Jerry.
Number two, number one, you traded him. To me, that's a bad move because, like I said, you put them in complete wrong priority.
Well, here's the thing:
you paid the guy that shouldn't have been paid, and you didn't pay the one that should have been paid. And CD, pay him 100%. I think he's a great receiver, but I would have been Parsons and CD and somebody else at quarterback. But then the compensation. I mean, the Jets got more for Jamal Anderson at safety than they just got for one of the best defensive players. Well, it should have been no less than 3 first-round picks.
Here's my thing, okay? Listen, Dallas held all the cards, Because the absolute worst thing you can do, if he wants to sit out there, he's going to have to come back in by week 11, or this year doesn't count, and so he can sit out games and then come in week 11. Then you have the franchise tag, and then why do you trade him now and get this paltry little you get for him, or force him to come in week 11, let him sit out, whatever he wants to do. But he's got to have to come in, or he doesn't accrue the year, and so then he's got to start back over. You franchise tag him. And then you trade him next year at the draft and get a lot more than you got right now. Like everything you've done completely backwards.
The week of the draft this year,
would have got 4.
Yeah, I mean it would have been,
or he would have got 3 and a couple twos.
Way more compensation because it just makes more sense.
Everything Jerry's does is ass backwards. You hate on these people. You don't make the deal when you need to. So then you end up paying even more, like twice as much for Dak. Because Dak held all the cards, or you held all the cards here with Parsons, and you basically fold. Like you're sitting on a royal flush in a poker game, and you folded.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I mean, Kenny Clark's a fine player. He is a fine player. I mean, but he's not. He's
not a game changer.
He's a decent defensive tackle, and then 2 first-round picks. I mean,
that are going to be somewhere in the late 20s.
Let's just say, the 2 first-round picks you're going to be getting. Let's just say that was in this year's draft. You couldn't trade both of those first-round picks to get up and get an Abdul Carter. Now granted, one of those guys could have, maybe a Jared Verse or, but I mean, you're still taking a shot in the dark. You already have the proven commodity in Parsons. So
you don't think you could have gone to the Giants instead of letting take Abdul Carter and be like, "Hey, here's Michael Parsons. We'll make the deal."
The more the Cowboys do business, and the more that I've watched this Cowboys documentary,
it's not business.
I'm not sure.
Listen, Jerry didn't care about Super Bowl trophies. All he's cared about is the Cowboys worth $8 billion. That's it.
Well, I mean, if you watch the documentary, the Netflix documentary. The more the Cowboys do business and the more I watch that documentary, the more I'm convinced that they absolutely just completely backed into that thing. Like it
100%.
It was a complete fluke.
100%.
And that's crazy because, you built this incredible roster full of Hall of Famers. You flip Herschel Walker for 3 or 4 Hall of Famers. I mean, but it's like it was just like a perfect storm.
No, I will say this, and this even goes back there. I will give Jerry credit, or the front office of Dallas, whoever's pulling the trigger. You look at their draft history, they've drafted well.
Yeah, well,
no, they have.
Yeah,
especially in the top 4 rounds, they've drafted well throughout history. You look at, Martin could play, and you get Parsons and CeeDee Lamb. Like
the skill position, I would argue they had not drafted well at the skill positions. I mean, who they drafted at a skill position that's been outside of Lamb. It's had a massive impact.
A lot of times they really don't.
Dez,
a lot of times they don't draft skill position guys. They're kind of a guy that goes along.
Potato. But
for the most part, if you look at through Jerry's whole history that he's on the team, for the most part, they've drafted pretty well. There was a few years in there but overall,
now they got to go replace.
No, but I mean,
you go find a.
Here's the thing: you could have held him on. I would have made him sit out. He's going to have to come back in sometime. I have 2 years that I could franchise tag him. But I'm franchise tagging him. Hold on, I'm franchise tagging him.
That does loom over your team, though. I feel like the negativity of Parsons. I heard Schottenheimer talk about his body language at practice, and he needs to fix that, and those types of things. I mean,
they know they're going to do that because they're trying to piss you off to trade them. I mean, unlike who Charles Haley will walk into the GM's office and take a tinkle on his desk to get traded. Now what they do is they sit over and they lay around and do whatever. But you held all the cards. All you could get from Micah Parsons was a D tackle and 2 first-round picks that are going to be late.
I think we got it covered on the Cowboys end. On the Packers end, to me, they were a fringe playoff team, maybe even on the outside looking in.
Now they were a playoff team, and now they're the favorite.
They're the favorite in the NFC?
Yes, they're the favorite.
With Jordan Love at quarterback?
Yes, they're the favorite.
I mean, I don't think they're the favorite. I think that's a stretch. But I will say that I look at them differently completely now because what you've done is you've taken a lot of responsibility away from Jordan Love to have to do, a lot of things. The defense was already pretty good.
Right, and they had two kind of guys that they developed as rush guys who had really good years, and now you had Micah Parsons.
Yeah,
and then on third down, you could put him inside because he's done that with Dallas, and all of a sudden, you got three guys getting after the quarterback.
Yeah, I think it helps. I think this helps Jordan Love immensely. Like the pressure. I think if the Packers can run the football, then they're going to be tough. I don't know about the favorite because I don't know how far Jordan Love is going to take you.
Micah Parsons in 2025, in the rest of the 20s, is going to be what Reggie White was in the very first NFL where he went to Green Bay and changed it. Micah Parsons is going to win a Super Bowl in Green Bay.
The only thing I could say is that they have the injury history. If he can stay healthy. I mean,
who, Parsons?
Yeah.
He's played just about. I mean, he hadn't missed very many Cowboy games.
He missed quite a bit. Was it last season? Wasn't it? I
don't think so. I think it's very.
He's been in and out of the lineup a little bit, but that's just reaching. I mean, that's wishful thinking from a Vikings fan. He's going to miss some games because the dude's a game wrecker. I mean, and so I think it does change the outlook of the NFC.
He's missed 4 games in his entire career, and they're all in 2024 when he suffered a high ankle sprain. So 4 games,
and I mean,
in 4 years.
There you go. I mean, it's bad news for me, I guess, right?
I'm just saying.
The NFC North is loaded.
It is.
It's loaded. And Detroit and Green Bay were 2 teams I didn't want to see him go to.
Maybe we're tanking for Arch.
Literally had, and if this would have happened like at 6 o'clock, I would have looked great because I literally had it, man. I had it. This is one of those deals where, like, you see Schefter, you see guys positioning to try to, get better deals through the media and stuff. But this is not the case with him. When Schefter talked about it, it was like, there's a split here. Like, he said that they had not met since that handshake deal or whatever. They hadn't even discussed the contract since then. So,
I mean, can you imagine any professional athlete outside of Lamar, because for a long time, and it hurt Lamar when he was his own agent. But, I mean, can you imagine going to Ohtani or Aaron Judge and saying, hey, we're going to work out this deal. And Judge says, well, here's my agent. Like, here's the kind of the parameters. But let's finalize this through my agent. And the owner just saying, I ain't talking to your agent.
Yeah,
that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I don't.
Like, is Jerry going to have, like, Pepsi cut a deal with the Cowboys without talking to Jerry?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of that. But I did get the vibe that this was heading towards a split. And I was literally going to this is Ricky out there. If you follow Ricky Scoops out there on the Twitter, he gets everything right. Mm-hmm. And he's been talking about this Green Bay deal for about a week now. And I was going to run with it today and give Ricky some props, but it's a done deal, and I can't look smart now. But
he's going to look good. He's going to look good riding their bikes over in the off season and when they're going for training camp.
Yeah, well, what I'm hoping is that he just doesn't chase down JJ too many times.
All we needed to do was do this back at the draft, and you tank for Arch. Maybe we're still trying to tank for Arch, but you could have tanked for Arch and got more for it. That's the problem.
I don't understand this tank for Arch thing. Is Arch good?
Well, name me a Manning quarterback that wasn't good.
I don't care about that. Is Arch good?
Hold on. Okay,
is Arch
there's been 3 Manning quarterbacks that's come through. Have they all been good?
I mean, they've been, 2 of them were, one of them was great. 2 of them were serviceable.
Oh, no, hold on. It is not Granddad's Archie Manning's fault that he played for the Aints. Look at hold on. No. This team was look. You go look at what like his numbers and what he did for that thing. That dude could play.
Arch, if he
was anywhere else but the Saints, this is when they were wearing bags on their head and they had offensive linemen like me and you.
So you're
won 2
Super
Bowls.
Gonna tank your whole season because a guy comes from a family of quarterbacks that have been good.
He's going to be good.
I mean that sounds like something Jerry would do. So I guess I'm on board with it.
I mean, why not?
I'm on board with that, but we're going to put that to bed. We got a big show lined up for you.
The triplets aren't walking through that door anymore. This is like the Patino Celtics.
No, I know you're upset, and rightfully so. You should be. I mean, any Cowboys fan today should be sick over this, but and any fan of any NFC North team should be sick as well because now you got to deal with Micah Parsons twice a year. But we got a little college versus spread today. We got a little fall sports rundown, volleyball, boys and girls soccer, and then we got Dano's Cigar Lounge, LA5, where one of the questions has already been answered.
Yes.
So we'll have to figure out question number 5.
I'll come up with another one.
But that's all we got for today's show. And really quick, best matchups of the week is what I had for this segment. So we'll kind of feed that into the LA5.
There you go.
Bit.
There you go.
Best high school matchups for tomorrow night. But we'll pause it right there for Karen Gross, realtor with Remax Professional Realty Group. Your dream is her mission. Give her a call at 270-315-9810 or find her at karengross.net. Listen to Live at 5, 1027 The Game.
This is Travis Holtree from Foreman Watson Holtree. Most recent statistics from the Kentucky Cabinet of Transportation confirm that nearly 80% of crashes result from distracted driving and report an all-time high in the number of wrecks in the Commonwealth.
Let us fight your battles and wait.
Let FWH
find out why FWH Legal.
Foreman Watson Holtree, dedicated to you, committed to justice. FWHlegal.com.
Save big on your next painting project at Menards. Get long-lasting Pittsburgh's Grand Distinction exterior paint and primer in one. It's highly dirt-resistant and provides a mildew-resistant coating. Save big on Grand Distinction paint. The perfect combination of strength and beauty. Visit us in-store. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Looking for a financial partner you can trust? Look no further than Green River Area Federal Credit Union. Whether you're saving for the future, buying a new home, or need a loan, we've got you covered with competitive rates and personalized service. Join the community that cares about your financial well-being. Visit Green River Area Federal Credit Union at one of our 3 locations in Henderson, Greenville, or Owensboro and experience the difference today. Your money, your future, your credit union. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
In September, Sports Country is celebrating 10 years. The last 10 years, we've seen the rise of social media and pandemic. And in sports, we saw the rise of new rivalries, World Cups, the creation of the transfer portal. For Sports Country, they saw a location change in Owensboro and the addition of a second location in Bowling Green. Thank you for supporting them for 10 years as they celebrate all September. Sports Country, 317 Park Plaza Drive, behind Shammy's Car Wash, Owensboro's #1 sports fan store. Search Sports Country on Facebook for events and specials.
It's game on every weekday from 5 to 8 in the morning with Unsportsmanlike. Brought to you by Floor Concepts. Catch Evan, Canty, and Michelle breaking down the biggest stories, the boldest takes, and the realest reactions only on 1027 The Game. Your home for ESPN Radio. Unsportsmanlike delivers the passion every true sports fan craves. Brought to you by Floor Concepts, where design meets durability. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings 5 to 8 only on 1027 The Game.
Gail Niehaus, realtor with Century 21 Prestige. $1 million service in any price range. Buying or selling a home? Find me at gailniehaus.com or call or text 270-316-7257.
Your farm is more than land, it's your legacy. Hi, I'm Danette Mattingly with Kentucky Farm Bureau. I have over 20 years of farm insurance experience. I'm proud to represent a company that truly values Kentucky's farmers. Give me a call today at 270-683-1715.
Local sports at its finest, live at 5 with Stephen A. Turner and Vic Evans on 102.7 The Game.
Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, FWHlegal.com. Stephen A. Turner, Vic Evans here in the Floor Concept Studios. We had a good discussion about Jordan Love.
Yeah. I think you're a little biased with Love because your hatred of the Packers. I think that taints your view of Jordan Love a little bit.
How good is he? You tell me, because I'm not seeing it.
I think he's top 15 in the league. I think he's a top.
I could give him top 15.
I don't think he's a top 10, but I think with that defense and with that coaching staff, I think all you got to do. I'm gonna probably say 12.
Do you think before this trade the Packers could win a Super Bowl with Jordan Love?
No, I don't think he's a guy that can win you the Super Bowl like a Patrick Mahomes or like a.
No, I think we agree.
But I think when you put the team around him that Green Bay has, he's definitely good enough to manage you to a Super Bowl.
Here's the thing: I don't sit and watch a lot of Packers games, but I think the reason why my view of him is skewed is to look at his stats against the Vikings.
Well, yeah, they've had his number, but I'll say this:
Flores has his number.
Yeah, I'll tell you this right now. Like, I think right now I'd have the Packers over the Bills as a Super Bowl contender because I think the Bills are very overrated because that defense is absolutely god awful.
Yeah, adding Parsons in changes it for sure.
It does. I have them. I think they're the favorite in the NFC. I think they are the best team in the NFC right now.
We'll see. I mean,
and not because of him, not because of Love.
No.
But I think he's good enough that he's not going to beat you. It ain't like Trent Dilfer, who manages that defense of the Ravens.
No, he's not.
This is a guy that can still go out there and put up points.
He's got to be more consistent in big spots, man. He throws a lot of bad interceptions in big spots. I mean, they had the 49ers beat 2 years ago in the playoffs to go to the NFC Championship game.
Oh, they did.
And
they did.
He choked.
But I also think we think of Love, who's been in the NFL forever. I mean, he's still just now going into his third year as a starter. So,
Sure.
I mean, there is growth there that you learn when you get in those big games. You learn from.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see. Right before we go back on the air, you said he's getting ready to have an MVP season, but
I mean, it's a possibility.
I don't know how you could ever say the Packers are favored in the NFC more than the Eagles, which Riley even checks it in and said the Eagles got to be the favorite.
Nah, I don't think so.
Well, why would they not be?
I just don't think the Eagles are a team, if you look at them through their history, has never repeated well after the Super Bowl. I think this is a team that will take a step back.
So it's hard to keep that edge.
It is.
I think for me, I would think it's because the coordinators. You know, the offensive coordinator, you have a new play caller. You saw what happened last time. Now, granted, Kellen Moore was his first year. He called plays and he took him to the Super Bowl. So it could happen. It's just depending on, how good the play caller is, which is why I'm a little bit more down on the Lions because they had the best play caller in football in Ben Johnson.
They did. But I've got the Lions going to the Super Bowl and winning. I'm a big Dan Campbell guy. I think he'll figure it out. And I like Goff. I think Goff is probably one of the most underrated quarterbacks in football.
I mean, he has moments. I think, but last year I was more consistent down the stretch, though.
I mean, he still took the Rams to the Super Bowl too. People forget that.
Oh yeah,
people forget he's taking the team to the Super Bowl
with an absolute incredible roster around him, which is what your argument is for Love, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
But to me, if I'm viewing the NFC, I got the Eagles. The team as a Vikings fan, the Eagles I'm most scared of. The Rams are probably second. And I don't know if it's the Packers or the Lions who I'm more scared
I'm more worried about the Rams because of Stafford's health, and I know he'll play through it because he always does.
If Stafford's right. But
for
that
me,
defense, I'm telling you right now.
Oh, it's good. It's so good.
That defense is going to be a problem.
I'm going to go Packers, Eagles, and then probably the Rams. It'll be my three. I just like that.
But you had the Lions in the Super Bowl.
I know.
You got to change that before we actually do our official Live at 5 picks. I just had to keep the conversation going because I wanted to.
I could have the Lions at number 4 and still have them going to the Super Bowl. I mean, the Giants did win 2 Super Bowls as a wild card.
Oh, for sure. So you mean like the seeding?
No, that's how right now.
Because the Lions were the best team in the league throughout the year last year.
Well, and I think the Lions. I want to see how. I do think the Lions. They were my Super Bowl pick last year. They'll probably be my Super Bowl pick this year. I want to see how Hutchinson responds because I think that's huge for the Lions. Coming off of that massive, wreck of a leg that he snapped.
They lost Aaron Glenn too. And a pretty darn good defensive play caller. I mean, you lose both coordinators. That's
huge.
Bound to have an impact.
Huge.
You saw what happened when the Eagles lost both of them. It was a little bit of a rebuild. But let's move it on now into
Michelle Smallman today.
Yeah, we did.
What we did.
100%. I wouldn't have been as bullish on her today. I promise you that. I'm not sorry, Packers fans. I mean, I'm not trying to down your team. I'm looking for any advantage I can get. And I was riding high, man, and this has kind of set me back a little bit. The Packers are concerned. They're full-blown. And I know I got the Packer bias. There's no question about that. But the respect's there because I respect Parsons. Let's move it to college football.
All right.
It's big time week this week.
Give me a game.
Let's get rolling here. College football versus the spread. I just went through and picked some of the better, closer spreads, really, because it's more fun games that way. Let's start with your favorite team in college football, Nebraska.
Yes.
6.5-point favorites at Cincinnati.
No, it's in Kansas City.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I just have at Cincinnati.
It's in Kansas City. Here's the thing. I mean, one, I would love to pick Cincinnati, but Cincinnati and I can't ever pick Satterfield. But I mean,
I'm against the spread too.
I know, and it's 6.5. I would probably lean Nebraska here, even though they've been kicked out of the Blue Bloods. And listen, I'm assuming they're going to get like Kansas City rings because if you're going to give your guys rings when they win their spring game. Like, they went out and bought, championship rings for the dang spring game. If you beat Cincinnati and Kansas City, they're probably getting Super Bowl rings. Nebraska, it's god-awful what you've done here, but give me Nebraska.
Nebraska covers.
Yeah.
They cover in this one. And to be clear, I wrote Wednesday's show, Thursday's show, and Friday's tailgate show, along with the Jason Morris coaches show, after my conference in Pittsburgh, they're waiting for my flight because I'm doing housework all week.
There, no, you're getting ready.
If I'm wrong, it's because I'm not paying that much attention. If I'm being
that
clear.
game's in Cincinnati. I did see where Cincinnati, I think, sold 42 tickets, and Nebraska sold somewhere around 30,000.
It's in Kansas City?
Yeah, it's a home game for Nebraska.
Interesting. Man, that's strange, but it's a strange location to have that game. But Georgia Tech at Colorado, I believe that's correct.
Yeah, that is.
Georgia Tech, 4.5-point favorites. How you feeling here?
Georgia Tech covers. Georgia Tech's a good football team. They took Georgia to double overtime at the end. I think they're going to be one of the better teams in the ACC. Colorado, I've never bought Colorado. It's all flash and not a lot of show out there. Give me Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I think I'll get Georgia Tech as well. We're both on the same side here through 2, so something must be wrong. How about 2.5-point favored Auburn at Baylor?
I'm going to go Baylor here. I think Auburn, Hugh Freeze is in a world of hurt. He's going to be one of the guys that's going to be right up there on my hot seat list. He's already on there. Give me Baylor.
I got Baylor outright. Forget the points. Just take Baylor to win this game outright. And so, man, this is getting creepy, man. We're 3 for 3 here on the same side. How about Syracuse at Tennessee? The Volunteers are 13.5-point favorites.
Yeah, and I'm worried about the Volunteers quarterback spot. I think Syracuse got him a steal with Angeli, who's there from Notre Dame. But I think Tennessee wins this one by about 3 touchdowns, so give me the Vols.
I'm going to go upset here.
Right,
not in the game. I'm just going to think Syracuse keeps it to within 13.5.
I hope they do upset them. I don't mind the ACC beating the SEC, especially when it's Tennessee.
I'm a little concerned that Angeli was the best quarterback, including Carr and those guys at Notre Dame.
I'm not. I think Angeli's really good. I'll say this. I think maybe game 1 against Miami, Angeli was the best quarterback. But I think the ceiling of Carr and Minchie is so far ahead of Angeli.
We'll
find out.
I'm cheering for him anyway. I'll be following Syracuse all year as long as they are competitive. Let's move it. Texas at Ohio State.
Yeah,
this is the big one, right? I didn't put these in any order, as you can see. Again, I wrote this on
I think Texas
Wednesday.
Texas a 2.5-point favorite.
Yeah, Ohio State is a 2.5.
Okay, so I'm getting 2.5.
It's the first time. I think it's the first time a number 1 ranked team has ever entered the season as an underdog in that game. So, going into Ohio State, rightfully so. Wouldn't that mean Ohio State should be the number 1 team? But no, nevertheless.
Well, Vegas is different than the voters.
It is. I'm not getting into that argument. But Ohio State wins this and they cover. I'm not 100% sold on Texas.
No, this is going to be Texas. I think Texas goes in and wins.
I will be sold if they do that.
I think Texas goes in and wins at Ohio State or keeps within 1 point. Arch Manning shows that he's a Heisman Trophy contender. And then what I want to see is Lee Corso pick the head of Texas in his last game day ever at Ohio State. Please, Lee, put the Longhorns so the people can boo.
I can't wait for Ohio State to mop up Texas and Arch throws 3 picks and we come in here and I can let you know that Arch, I don't know, man. I don't know about this guy being tanked for Arch. No, I think he'll play well, but I think Ohio State wins the game.
And I'm going to go Texas. I think Texas is right there.
So we differ on that one. So the last 2, we're going different directions. This one's interesting because Florida State had a terrible year last year. Bama, 13.5-point favorites.
Bama by 28.
They cover.
No,
right?
Florida State's going to have another losing record. Listen, they can do it all they want. Florida State's not a serious. They won't spend money down there. Their facilities are terrible. In this day and age, it's an arm race. Florida State is a mockery down there in Florida.
Are they falling out of? In 5 years from now, we look back and say
they're going to be Nebraska.
Remember what Florida State?
They're going to be Nebraska.
That's
Listen,
sad,
this was
man.
Florida State, who was. It was all. Here's the thing. All right, Florida State was built by one man. He's gone. Okay, so they're like Nebraska. Tom Osborne built Nebraska. He's gone. He's not walking through that door anymore. Alabama by 28.
Yeah, but Florida State's a little bit more attractive, but I don't know Tallahassee.
Tallahassee. I don't know. Not when you got Miami, you got Florida.
It's more attractive than Nebraska, but it's not slightly more attractive.
And not only that, those people not in the SEC, you're right there at the SEC. You can go play at Alabama and Georgia and all that. Just as nice.
Yeah, man. I'm going to save LSU Clemson. Let's go South Carolina.
Are you going Florida State or are you going Alabama?
I'm going Bama. They cover. They cover easily, I think.
Okay.
3+ touchdowns. How about South Carolina, 7.5-point favorites at Virginia Tech?
South Carolina rolls this one. South Carolina.
Big on South Carolina.
I think South Carolina, with that quarterback, I think they're a fringe playoff team like they were last year. Give me South Carolina all day long.
Yeah, I'll take South Carolina in that one as well. I think they roll in that ball game. Let's move it to we'll do Notre Dame Sunday. 2.5-point favorites at Miami.
Notre Dame by 17. I think this Notre Dame team is really good. I think Miami and Cristobal is overrated.
We're screwed.
I'm going Notre Dame. Give me Notre Dame, baby. CJ Carr, 3 touchdowns.
Man.
Give me Notre Dame.
17?
Yeah. I don't think Miami's that good.
I mean, if they win by 17, we're going back to the national championship.
Here's the thing. All right. And I don't necessarily say that, but I'm going to say this. All right. Stetson Bennett's not Cam Ward. I mean, Cam Ward.
You're talking about Carson Beck.
Carson Beck. He's not.
Stetson Bennett's throwing touchdowns all over the NFL now.
I mean, Carson Beck. Yeah. Carson Beck is not Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Cam Ward made this team last year.
I agree with that.
Cristobal
I'm 100% on board with that.
Give me Freeman and that Notre Dame coaching staff over Miami's any day. And listen, the Catholics don't lose to the convicts very often. We're getting back at it.
I am pumped to have this rivalry matchup back on the table. Everything in me tells me that Notre Dame does win this game by a couple scores, but I'm a Notre Dame fan, and you never know. I mean, you literally never know with
Northern
Illinois. You just don't know. If I took my Notre Dame fandom out of it and the bias out of it, I think they win this probably by 10 to 14 points. So Notre Dame covers. Let's move it back to LSU and Clemson. Clemson's 3.5-point favorites as LSU goes in there.
Does the loser of this game have to change the name of their stadium? They can't call it Death Valley anymore?
Yes.
Listen,
I think that's what it should be.
That's what it should be. It should be like the Death Valley Bowl. Put it on the line.
I used to love Dabo, but now this is a battle between two coaches that I absolutely can't stand.
And the problem is Brian Kelly is even worse than Dabo. I mean, let's just base it. I mean, I'm like you. I mean, Dabo I used to love him. Dabo is cringe. Then what happened was Dabo got too big for his britches and his ego got in the way because they had that nice little run.
Yeah, that's true. He did get a big head.
Brian Kelly has been cringe and deadly cringe all the time. And listen, here's what's going to happen. Clemson wins the game, post-game press conference, Brian Kelly throws his team under the bus because he's really good about that it's always their fault, never his. Give me Dabo in this one. I hope he wins by 40. I hope Brian Kelly goes 0-11.
So who'd you pick?
Clemson.
I'm taking LSU. On talent alone, taking LSU.
Well, they were better than USC last year. We went 6-6 and lost that first game too.
It's a tough one, man. I mean, but I just don't think Clemson's that good.
Neither do I. But here's the thing: they're in Death Valley. You may get a hurricane. When you got a hurricane going on, Brian Kelly decides he's going to throw it 52 times and figure out a way to lose. Brian Kelly loses. There's only one big game Brian Kelly ever won big, and that was at Oklahoma, who was overrated that year.
This is on the list, so I'm going to pick LSU. But this is a game I would never bet real money on, just because what a disaster of two coaches. But let's move it to EKU going to Louisville, right? We'll close it with two Kentucky games here. As the Cards are 38.5-point favorites. Can they cover that?
Oh, yeah, they can, but I don't think they will.
I think they cover it.
All right.
I'm going to go with them.
I wouldn't.
Week one, you're fired up. You're ready to go out there, and it's EKU.
I would not put any money on this game because that spread's too big.
Crazy.
But if I was going to put any money on it, I would probably put it on Louisville and give up the 38.5. So I'll go Louisville too.
And I'll tell you what we'll do. Toledo at UK, 9.5 at last check.
Here's what's crazy is this line, without ever playing a game, has gone from 14 down to 7.5. Now it's up to 9.5, just because a lot of that has to do is all the talking heads saying this is the upset pick, because none of the other games out there are really a good upset. This is the only one. And so they talked it down to 7.5. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a Kentucky guy, but when it got down to 7.5, I pounded it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that. You got an LA5 question.
I do.
Let's
hold off on
that. We'll tease that a little later for the Danos LA5. We will do a fall sports roundup when we come back, and then we'll close with the Danos Cigar Lounge LA5 live at 5, 102.7 The Game.
Whether it's one item or 100, Pat Hayden Moving gets it there safely and stress-free. As a proud alumni of Owensboro Catholic, Pat Hayden Moving is honored to support the aces on the field, in the classroom, and throughout the community. Big move, small move, we've got your back. One item or 100, we'll move it for you. Call Pat Hayden Moving today and support a business that supports Owensboro Catholic. Local, loyal, on the move.
Fall is here, and so are the flavors you've been waiting for at the Creme Coffee House. Sip on seasonal favorites like the pumpkin green cold brew, pecan pie latte, or the cozy campfire cold brew topped with toasted marshmallow cold foam. Pair it with a cinnamon caramel muffin or a warm apple blossom. And whether you're settling in or on the move, the Creme makes it easy with grab-and-go options like breakfast sandwiches, pastries, and now you can get their delicious brews canned as well. Celebrate the season at the Creme Coffee House, where every sip tastes like fall.
At the B.F. Evans Ford Summer Sales Event and take the summer off with no payments for 90 days. Financing as low as 0% for 48 months and free oil changes for 2 years on all new 2025 Ford F-150, Explorer, and Escape. B.F. Evans Ford Summer Sales Event. Why do you see so many B.F. Evans Ford vehicles in the area? Big discounts, top dollar for your trade, hassle-free buying, and award-winning service at the B.F. Evans Ford in Livermore. Or shop online at bfevansford.com. 0% financing with full credit with approved credit. All buyers qualify.
Backed by popular demand, Legendary Pools and Spas by John Maurice is here. If John has built your pool or spa in the past and it needs service, repairs, or just a little attention, he's ready to take care of you. He'd love to hear from his former customers, and if you're new, now is the perfect time to see why his work is legendary. Call Legendary Pools and Spas by John Maurice at 270-316-1007. Reconnecting with customers, one pool at a time.
Accidents and ailments can happen when you least expect them, but Owensboro Health is here to care for you when and where you need it. Walk right in for excellent urgent care without an appointment, or use our MyChart app to tell us you're on your way. Our expert providers are ready to treat minor cuts, rashes, bites, respiratory infections, and so much more. To find one of our 5 urgent care locations near you, visit owensborohealth.org/urgent care.
And now, more Live at 5 with Stephen A. Turner and Vic Evans on 102.7 The Game.
Live at 5 brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtry, FWHlegal.com. Stephen A. Turner, Vic Evans here in the Floor Concept Studios. Vic, you had an announcement to make,
before we get to the fall sports. All right, and you know from Live at 5, if you listen a lot, and you and I talked about this, that I was a big Matt Rule guy when he was at Baylor. You know, I wanted the Cowboys to hire him in the NFL. I thought he got a raw deal in the NFL. I thought, hey, this was not a bad hire for Nebraska, even though you're an irrelevant football program. I just wanted to be known. I am now off the Matt Rule bandwagon. I kicked him out. When he turned into Butch Jones from Tennessee and giving out championship rings for the fall game, I guess now we're going to hear about how Nebraska are all champions of life now.
You're having a rough day with the Parson deal, so I'm gonna give you that out.
I'm off the Matt Rule bandwagon. Matt Rule, I had a fan in me, but we're no longer buddies.
I'll give it to you. But, speaking of, let's talk about a better coach, DeMarcus Ganaway down at Goodwood tonight, 6:30 with Dan. Be sure and check that out. I know it's a tough week for the Red Devils, but, you're in the middle. The storm's not over, right? Because Cal's coming in. They've owned 3A, and it's been a good series. I mean, Owensboro's been on the doorstep of beating them a couple times. Just got to punch that ticket, and we'll see if they can do it tomorrow night at Rash. You can hear that from DeMarcus Ganaway tonight at Goodwood.
Yeah, if you can't make it at Goodwood, it'll be on WVJS or right there at OwensboroRadio.com. You can pick it up.
Let's talk a little fall sports, man.
I'm all for it.
There's been some big results come through in all sports. We haven't had much time to dive in, so let's look at it. Volleyball is where we'll start. The Apollo Eagles sitting at 5-0, and they got a big win over Owensboro Catholic.
Dave and I talked about that Tuesday while you were gone, and it was a huge win. And I think those two are the two favorites in the region right now.
I would think so. Avery Gray leads the way, 77 kills for the Eagles. They have wins over Ohio. Trinity, they beat Muhlenberg a couple of times, so a couple of third region wins in there. And Catholic sitting at 6-3. Addie Aller and Ava Martin leading the way for Owensboro Catholic. And I agree, right now, early season, those are the two that kind of stand out. But how about the Davis County Lady Panthers?
Listen, I think they got mad.
6-0, man.
Here's the thing. I think they got mad last year because in the Foreman Watson Holtry Cup, I think they were the only girls team that didn't score at Davis County.
Yeah,
so now they're trying to. They're because you're talking about you had a golf region, you had a softball region, a soccer region, and a basketball region. Volleyball got left out. They're making a statement.
Yeah, Haley Clark leading the way out there, a junior for Davis County, and they knocked off Owensboro. Owensboro's only played 2 games. They're off to a little bit of a slow scheduling start, but the defending third region champion sitting at 1-1, and we'll keep our eye on them when they get a little bit more of a sample size around the region. region, you got Meade sitting at 2-1. You got Breckenridge County at 3-0, and they beat Hancock. They've beat Ohio. So a couple nice wins for the Lady Tigers. That's usually a pretty good volleyball program.
It is.
So something to monitor out there in beautiful scenic Harned. Grayson County, who we expected to be good, they are 4-1, off to a good start. The only loss was to Muhlenberg. And then you look at Trinity. Actually, they're 2-0 in the 12th is Grayson, with wins over Trinity and Butler. And Trinity in a little bit of a rebuild this year, 2-4.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine
by the end of the year. It'll be
you don't want a piece of them by the end of the year.
No doubt. So move it over now. We'll keep it on the girls' side and stick with soccer here on the fall sports rundown. And Davis County. It was Davis County. When we did the previews, it was Davis County and everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I still kind of feel that way. They are sitting at 4-3 though, so they're a little bit tougher schedule.
Well, they always play a tough schedule too.
A lot of out of state games for Davis County. They're at Henderson tonight, which will also be a good test. Mary Evelyn Wyman leads the way with 5 goals for the Lady Panthers. Some great defense, though, whether it be in goal, whether it be Ansley Dant, right? I mean, that's pretty much a family member for me out there with Sean Dant. Grew up with that man. And his daughter, man, he's taught her how to play some defense out there. She's kind of shut down out there for Davis County. And then you got Owensboro Catholic, who we didn't even preview because they didn't have a program last year. We're like, well, they're probably going to be the 4th best team in district. Not so fast. They're 3-1, 2-1 in district play. And Allie Marson with 7 goals so far leads the Lady Aces. And then rounding out the 9th district, Owensboro sitting at 4-3, very competitive, 1-2 in 9th districts and some tough losses. How about Lily Neiman, our reigning Red Devil of the week, with 13 goals.
Yeah, we've got the stat leaders up there. Now, these were as of Tuesday on the KHSA, and I know we got a lot of those messages saying, hey, this person has 9 goals. Well, you know what? That's on your coach. Keep your KHSA stuff updated, and we don't have to worry about it.
It is as it is posted online.
Yeah, we get it. We get it on Tuesday afternoon, late Tuesday afternoon, and then we take it. So that's just where it works at. But yeah, Neiman's having a monster year. I will say, to me, the biggest story on the girls' side. How about McLean County? They win 2 games all of last year. And they're sitting there at 5-1.
Incredible, man.
And Humphrey with 17 goals, setting a school record.
Yeah, 17 goals so far, man. And she's going to have a monster year. Wins over Butler, Breck, Muhlenberg. They did take a district loss to Ohio County, who's sitting at 3-2. And that's always a good girls soccer program. Emma Schrader and Olivia Combs with 9 goals.
Another
each.
reigning Hawkins Avenue Eagle of the
Player
Week,
of the
Combs.
Week. I love you, man. I would compliment you guys, because I didn't have anything to do with the Player of the Week's spreading it around. That's something we tried to do a little bit last year, and this year is really taking hold. And you spread that around. I mean, the soccer, volleyball, they work just as hard as a football player. So we're going to work harder to recognize.
Think about it. This week, on our very first week, we had 1 golfer, we had plenty of soccer players, we had a volleyball player, we had football players. We hit all 4 sports.
Yeah, I mean,
before long, we'll have like an EA Sports Player of the Week.
And Dime is putting out some of the best graphics we've ever had.
Yes,
those Player of the Week graphics, I love them because we've got the kids' picture back on there. Those are something the family members can print off. You have it forever, man, and they look sharp.
And we are still having our Canty Dairy Queen ESPN Owensboro Player of the Week. Doing a little different. We got in-house. We've got 12 voters in-house that will vote for that. Not going to have the fan vote this year, kind of, because the same people, the same schools win every time.
So we're not going to let the fans vote at all?
I don't think so.
I was just thinking we could implement their vote in with ours. Maybe if there's a tiebreaker.
A lot of it has to do because of the number of graphics we have to put out. That's a whole different graphic that has to be put out every week to put the voting out there.
That.
So, no, I think it's just going to be we're going to try it out.
A lot going on social media at 102.7 The Game, and don't want to flood it too much.
Yeah, you figure we're putting out, you're on just on a slow week, you're talking about top 10, 15 Player of the Week graphics. You're talking about 6 game graphics. The Pick'em graphic, Coaches Shows graphics.
Get your picks in out there on Facebook.
Yeah, it's up there.
Check it out, 102.7 The Game. Yep. Around the region elsewhere, Meade County sitting 2-1 on the girls' side. Grayson County, Elizabeth Haycraft, 5 goals. They're sitting at 3-1 to round out the girls' side of things. Then on the boys' soccer side, we kind of knew going into the season the favorites, obviously Owensboro and Davis County, and they've already hooked up in a monumental clash where Owensboro won, I think, in the shootout, right?
Yes, Owensboro won in the shootout.
4-0-1 are the Red Devils. looking good. Dennis Yuma, Peter Bio, 5 goals each there to lead the way for Owensboro. Davis County is playing just like that's what they do.
They play a state.
Level schedule.
It's
right?
like a St. X football or Trinity football schedule. They play in soccer.
It'll be a team. It's a little bit of a turning the page, obviously from Coach Sandifer, some big time seniors. But I think this program is still in good hands. And by the end of the year, they're still going to be right there trying to win the regional title again.
Listen, everybody's talking about, it's Owensboro now. Listen, it came to a shootout.
Right.
And when you're the 14-time regional champ, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Ric Flair always said to be the man, you got to beat the man.
I know,
right?
but
in the postseason.
Right.
Not just district or regular season. You got to beat them in the regional tournament. They haven't been eliminated in a regional tournament since the Bush administration.
Think about that. I do want to give a big shout out to the guy that's leading the Harris Group stat leaders. How about Jonathan Portillo down there at Butler with 11 goals?
Yeah, Butler 3-1.
I
Good
know.
start for the Bears.
Well, they had 2 in the top 5, so they're goal scorers.
You got some offense down there in Butler County. Ohio County sitting 2-2. How about J.J. Pacheco with 7 goals to lead the way for Ohio County? Muhlenberg's at 5-2 with Lincoln Drury and West Morrison 6 goals each. And then rounding out, I know the 9th district, you got Catholic at 2-3.
Andrew Bailey,
Apollo
a huge year.
at 1-3.
He's I think he had 7 goals.
Yeah, but the 9th district, it's just clouded. It's so clouded because Owensboro and Davis, you take a monumental upset to knock off one of them in the first round of district.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. You could be a top 5 team in the region if you're like the 4th best and 3rd best team in the 9th district. You're not getting out of district play.
It's like softball.
It is.
Right back, tough path. For those 9th district teams. We'll pause it right there. That's our fall sports rundown. Big thanks to Kellyanne Harris for coming on board with our stat leaders you could see there on the YouTube page. When we come back, we'll wrap it up with another great partner, Dano's Cigar Lounge, LA 5, 1027 The Game.
Southwire in Hallsville has been family-owned since 1950 and strives to be generationally sustainable for years to come. They are one of the leading manufacturers of wire and cable used in the transmission and distribution of electricity. Southwire delivers power to millions of people around the world. Their mission to be a preferred provider of solutions to the electrical industry by providing innovative products and services with exceptional quality and delivering on our promises. They also are proud supporters of all Hancock County athletics. Go Hornets!
This is Travis Holtree from Foreman Watson Holtree. The most recent statistics from the Kentucky Cabinet of Transportation confirm that nearly 80% of crashes result from distracted driving and report an all-time high in the number of wrecks in the Commonwealth. If you are a victim of distracted driving, let FWH unwreck your wreck. Foreman Watson Holtree, dedicated to you, committed to justice. FWHlegal.com.
PSC Fiber is building the region's fastest fiber optic network to deliver essential internet to Perry, Spencer, and DuBois counties with the customer service and tech support you expect from neighbors. Access to high-speed, reliable internet has a positive impact on economic development and social well-being. The ways we communicate have changed a lot in over 70 years, and PSC Fiber is always leading the way. Call 800-511-4899 or visit us at pscfiber.net to see how PSC Fiber is here for you.
For over 35 years, Owensboro Garage Doors has been serving the tri-state area. We have exciting news. Our state-of-the-art showroom and design center is now open on Saturdays from 9 to noon. That's right. You can now visit us on Saturdays at 708 Breckenridge Street. Our team of experts are committed to providing exceptional designs and service. Owensboro Garage Door offers a wide variety of custom garage door options to ensure your garage door fits your unique needs and style. With the best service, parts, and prices, Owensboro Garage Doors will be your go-to for life.
When you work at Commonwealth Road Products, it's not about just making things possible, it's about making things safe. People who work at Commonwealth Road Products believe staying safe begins with me, bringing a not on my watch commitment to work, home, and play. Let's keep our kids safe when they play sports. Make sure their equipment fits right and works correctly. Pay attention to the temperature when outside and stay hydrated. Join us in saying no one should ever get injured, not on my watch. Commonwealth Road Products is a proud sponsor of Hancock County Sports Broadcasts.
Hawkins Avenue PLLC is a full-service architectural firm providing design services for K-12 education, business, healthcare, industrial, religious, hospitality, and mercantile projects across the state. Our motto is design-focused, service-based, and feel it nothing less than mandatory to provide a service to our clients that exceeds their expectations. With a combined 30-plus years of experience, the team at Hawkins Avenue is the architectural firm you need for your next project. Located in Beaver Dam, give Jeremiah or Kyle a call at 270-363-2235.
Local sports at its finest, live at 5 with Stephen A. Turner and Vic Evans on 102.7 The Game.
Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtry, FWHlegal.com. Stephen A. Turner, Vic Evans here in the Floor Concept Studios. I just caught the video there on your phone.
I did.
The professor, Chris Riley,
has thrown
his Micah Parsons jersey in the garbage can.
Cowboys fans seem to be taking this news well.
They should be taking it. And I mean, I don't know. There's a little bit of blame on both sides, but if you want to blame Parsons, so be it.
Don't blame Parsons. Blame Jerry. Throw all your Cowboy gear away. Listen, here's what Cowboy fans need to do. Here's what Cowboy fans need to do. You become a fan free agent and you stop giving Jerry the money. That's all he worries about.
Jason Frakes said he's going to become a free agent.
That's all he's worried about is what his team's worth. Man. Don't make it worth anything. Don't go to the games. Don't spend the money. This is why the Cubs win a World Series once every 150 years is because you go sell out the ballpark every time and they don't have to go out there and do what they're supposed to do and put the best team out there.
I start to feel bad for Cowboys fans, and then I realize you got that Netflix show to watch, and you can relive the greatest eras of of any football.
Yeah,
team
you find out your quarterback at that time was a total jerk and a jackwad.
Aikman's always been a little bit of a handful, but you do have that. I've never even got to see my team play in a Super Bowl, so. I don't know. I do feel bad. Cowboys fans are up against it. Also, man, before we get back, I want to give a shout out to Zach Clark. He does a little bit of business with us.
A little bit. Right? Close with Clark. You got the tailgate next 2 weeks from now.
Let me tell you something. Zach Clark is helping me sell my cousin's house, who, we're going through this thing with Elder Advantage and whatnot. He's going to come over there and help me clean the house out. That's how dedicated he is. Zach Clark, that's how dedicated he is.
That's how you close with Clark.
His customers, man. I just want to give him a shout out. Great football player, better realtor.
There you go.
He was a great football player. It tells you how good of a realtor he is.
Let's get to our other great partner, the Danos LA 5. Make sure you go see Steve and Stevie out there. Highway 54, Danos Cigar Lounge. Danos LA 5. Question number 1 for you, Steve. Do you have any teams that you in the ESPN Owensboro area that you got on upset alert this week?
Well, man, let me see. I mean, is McLean and Caverna? Is that an upset? Is McLean going in as a favorite?
I would probably put him as a slight favorite.
Okay. I mean, I would have McLean on upset alert.
Okay.
The tackling is a concern. And you're talking about the Martin twins, who are absolute animals at running back. Now, I do think McLean will have a better offensive night against.
Can't have been much worse. You had like 56 total yards.
You're talking about too a 5A opponent and a 1A opponent,
right?
So I do think McLean will be able to run the football. It's going to be that's a toss-up game, and I would put him on upset alert. Grayson County, Anderson County.
Anderson lost to Washington County last week.
Well, Washington County normally is one of those teams that
You're in the middle pack of 2A somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's but I
think Grayson handles that one pretty easy.
I agree. But I reached for that one. I just don't see any other ones. I mean, you look at I had the best matchups of the week. I had Perry at Forest Park, which that may be reaching, but
a little bit.
But Forest Park got smashed week 1.
I know.
So there's a little bit of unknowns there. And Perry, there's a lot of unknowns there too. Very small roster.
Yes, it's like 22 players.
For the Commodores. How about Edmonton County at Clinton County? That's a tough.
I think that's a tough one. I think that is a good. I think that is a good game. One of the better games in of the whole region.
Yeah, and I got McLean Caverna at 3, and then I've got Cal at Owensboro at 2, and then at 1 I've got Apollo Heritage Shields. And the only reason, and when I say matchups, I don't mean necessarily those are going to be the best games. I think the best matchups on paper. I think there's intrigue. I don't know that Apollo beats Heritage Hills, but I want to see can that offense score with them. If they go in there and get beat by 40, then I'm going to start to have some questions about how good Apollo's going to be closer to the floor than the ceiling that we did. Owensboro, same way. If you go in there tomorrow and you get running clock by Cal, then all of a sudden I'm going to start to have some serious questions about you're going to be anywhere near your ceiling, which I had you at 8, and then I moved it to 9 while I was doing the segment. And so those two are why I have them at the top. And then you look at the other team. I mean, you got, McLean Caverna. Just 2 weeks ago, I would have thought McLean rolls this game. But I'm not convinced.
I'm not convinced. In fact, I'm leaning towards picking Caverna.
And Edmondson Clinton may be the toughest game to pick. I have faith in Vessels. I'm going to tell you right now, Edmondson, I'm picking you.
There you go.
Tomorrow on the road because I have faith in your coach. I have faith the way you play defense. But that passing offense of Clinton, I think they threw for over 300. So defensive backs in Edmondson, get ready.
It's the Danos LA5. I want to move down a couple questions. I want this question because it was so nice. Okay. As the Bills released their cold front jerseys and alternate unis, and they are sweet.
Well, they ripped us off.
So here's my question. Is this the best alternate jersey you've seen, and what's your top 4 best alternate jerseys?
Oh, top 4.
Or your best. I got 4 real quick off the top of my head.
So the Vikings had the Winter Warrior, they're all white out jerseys, and the Bills took that too. So, I mean, it is sharp.
It is sharp.
It is sharp. I'm going to be boring here. Like, the traditional jerseys. Like I saw the Giants are doing their all white, their color rush, but they're all white classic with the classic New York Giants when they won the Super Bowl, the Giants across the helmet. It seems like every team that goes back to the jerseys they wore in the past are better across the board.
I'm going to give you 4 real quick.
Okay.
The best 4 alternate jerseys ever.
All right.
Number 4, the Chargers baby blue. They don't get much better than that.
They're tremendous, yeah.
Number 3, the Red City Connect jersey. The black with the Cincy,
it is nice.
Those
Riley has that hat, yeah.
Number 2, the Colorado Rockies.
I do like
City Connect jersey with the Rockies on the Rocky Mountains on there.
Yeah, but they're green though.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That eliminates them.
And the best alternate jersey of all time, it's not even close, the Notre Dame green jersey. Bingo.
I don't know, man. I don't love it.
Oh, man, that's you're wrong.
Listen, man, I am against teams wearing jerseys that are not their colors.
Oh, no, Notre Dame's been famous for wearing the green jersey every time.
I'm talking about, you mentioned the Rockies.
It was the City Connect jersey.
Yeah,
it was
but
like
it's green.
It was so awesome.
Like if I turned it on, I would, and the score wasn't up there. I was like, who's
Oh,
playing?
no, you couldn't see the Rockies on the jersey. It was the Rocky Mountains.
Who's playing? Who's green? I mean, who's wearing green? I can tell you who has the worst jerseys of all time.
The Boston Red Sox City Connect jerseys
the
that are
Phillies
yellow.
City Connect jerseys. I can't even watch the games when they wear them. It doesn't matter because they're choke artists anyway.
Next Danos LA5 question I got to ask you. Hey, NASCAR playoffs kick off Sunday with the race in Darlington. Who's your pick to win the championship?
I didn't look this up. NASCAR's unwatchable. It's unwatchable. I mean, I try to get into it. I've tried multiple times. One thing I will say, I'll pick Chase Elliott. Is he in it?
I think so. I'm gonna go Larson.
I didn't even look it up.
The guy I want to ran is Van Gisbergen. I love Van.
The road course. They had like 10 road courses. He might have a shot.
Yeah, they don't have one until
road course.
They don't give him until
50th.
number 2. You got the Roval. Maybe if he can get to the second round, maybe he can win the Roval, which is the dumbest race ever. Either have a road course.
The best driver in NASCAR that everybody hates is Carson Hocevar.
Okay.
Because he creates controversy. He's old school. And everybody's like, oh, he wrecks people all the time. That's what drove the ratings. What do you think Dale Earnhardt made a career out of doing? Wrecking everyone,
He
man.
did.
Hocevar does need to win some races.
Running out of time. Got to get to my next Danos LA5 question. As we're getting closer and closer to Saturday, are you feeling more and more confident about the Cats against Toledo?
No, I'm not feeling more confident. I mean, I'm about where I've always been. Like, well, they might win. It's like they better win.
What's you say? You said it's up to 9.5 right now.
They cover that.
I'm going to take Toledo on the points, and I'm going to surprise everybody. I'm going to go Toledo pulls the upset, goes into Kroger Field. They win 28-17. The Rockets
if that happens,
over the Cats.
If that happens, Kroger Field will be half empty the rest of the season. I mean, it's just this is a must-win game for Stoops right out of the gate. I mean, you lose this and it's over.
Here's the thing. The best thing I'll tell you about is like everybody has been talking about this is the upset pick. So UK's been on upset alert for like a month and a half.
Win. They win
Toledo, give me the Rockets.
Kentucky wins this game by 17.
I'm going to go Rockets.
Yeah, that's all I got. We had a question about Parsons getting traded. I was going to tell you he's going to the Packers, but well, he did already. So that we have that covered. Don't forget, tomorrow we'll be over at Rash Stadium. Big time tailgate.
Elite
Auto Glass coming on board. We'll see you then live at 5.
You've been listening to Live at 5 on 102.7 The Game. Special thanks to Foreman Watson Hultree for sponsoring the preceding broadcast. FWHlegal.com. Tune in next time for Live at 5 on 102.7 The Game.